Cool, so we can go ahead and get started. So hello, welcome to the virtual college exploration for North Carolina and South Carolina students. This is sponsored by CACRAO and StriveScan. Before we get started, just a few little housekeeping things. This is a Zoom webinar format. Just know our guest speakers cannot hear you or see you whatsoever. If you have any questions, please place it within the Q&A feature. You can find it either the top left of your screen or the bottom left of your screen as well. But the Q&A box will allow you to ask any questions throughout the duration of the presentation. This session will be recorded in about a week. You can log back into our website, which is www.cacrao.org to access it, and feel free to check out the website to see more sessions that we will be offering throughout the week as well. At this point in time though, I will turn it over to Newberry College.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us here today. My name is Milena Velez. I'm the Director of Admissions here at Newberry, and I'll turn it over. We have two admissions counselors with us today, so I'll turn it over to them so they can introduce themselves as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Clarissa Orick, and I'm an admissions counselor here, and I'll be helping with the presentation today, and then we'll also have an opportunity for you guys to ask questions a little bit later.
Hey everybody, my name is Anna Noble. I am an admissions counselor here at Newberry College. I'm specifically working with the Midlands area. So if you guys have any questions after this, feel free to reach out to us.
Awesome, thank you both so much. So we'll take it over a couple of housekeeping items before we get started, as Clarissa is putting the presentation up. If you have any questions, like our moderator mentioned, feel free to ask them at any point down in the chat box. We can answer questions as the session is going on, so you don't have to keep them until the very end. And second, if you'd like to get in touch with any of us, you don't have to write down our names. Our contact information will be at the very end, and we'll also follow up with you. So don't worry if you miss anything. You always have the chance to ask a little bit more information a little later. So now, without any further ado, we'll tell you a little bit more about Newberry College. So Newberry College, for those of you who are not familiar with us, we're a small private liberal arts college. We're located in Newberry, South Carolina, which is just about 45 minutes to 50 minutes north of Columbia, South Carolina, which is the capital. We were founded in 1856 by John Bachman as a Lutheran institution, and to this day we maintain our relationship with the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America. That does not mean you have to be Lutheran to attend, however. It just means that we subscribe to the mission of the Lutheran Church as finding vocation and true passion, and this is what we work towards with all of our students. But only about 10 to 15% of our students are actually Lutheran, so you definitely don't have to be Lutheran to attend here. We have a residential campus, so vast majority of our students do live on campus, about 83 to 85%, depending on the year. And currently we have just under 1,300 undergraduate students. Those are primarily in our face-to-face programs, but we do also have 4 online degree completion programs for students who attend classes online. There are about 60 to 65 students at any given point within those programs. Our students come from a variety of places and a variety of backgrounds. We currently have 21 states and 23 countries represented. We have 13 to 1 student to faculty ratio, so you'll definitely find somebody here who you get to know very well. Students and faculty are often on first name basis, and they get to know each other very well. So your professors here will not just be your instructors, but they will become friends and they'll become mentors later on in life as well. And they just kind of stay with you throughout your college career and way after. Some of them might be, providing references for you. Some of them, Who knows, you might have them invited to your wedding. I had at least a couple of professors who invited my wedding from my undergraduate experience. So that happens more than you know. We also have about 40% first generation college students. So what that means is that we are very familiar with working with students who don't know what the college search process looks like because they didn't have somebody in their family who attended college. We walk you through the entire application process step by step, and we provide you with all the necessary resources once you are on campus as well, because we know that for first generation students, sometimes it can be even a little more confusing to know what you are searching for next. And we're also very much committed to accessibility and affordability for all of our students, which is why 96% of our students receive some form of financial aid, whether that's academic, athletic, institutional, need-based, or in general, state and federal aid. We are here to help you through the financial aid process and ensure that you have all the opportunities to yourself to make it affordable for you to attend Newberry College. In terms of how that plays out on the national scene, Newberry has been recognized over the past few years for a number of accomplishments and contribution to the affordability and accessibility that I spoke about. So for example, US News and World Report ranked us number 6 in the South for best value, which is tremendous considering what a substantial region at the South entails overall. And we're also ranked 6th in the South for social mobility. The social mobility metric is actually a new one, so I just want to take a quick second to explain it. But essentially, it says it shows our commitment to those first generation students that I spoke about just a minute ago, and how we ensure that they're provided with the resources to graduate at the same rate as somebody who does not come from first generation or low income background. So those are the students who graduate at the same time, they're given the same opportunities, and they go on to successful careers and further educational endeavors of their own. We're also ranked pretty highly, it's an unranked list, but we were ranked pretty highly on the economic diversity in South Carolina as well, which is really good. And overall, we were ranked among the best regional colleges in the South, number 11 for 2020, which is also another definite pride point. We've been in the top 15 for the past decade, which is tremendous. So next, I'll turn it over to Clarissa. She'll tell you a little bit more about our areas of study and campus and student life.
Awesome, thanks, Milena. As you guys can see here, we have quite a large variety of things to study, concentrate in, and even learn more about. There's practically something for a little bit of everybody. So you can see here, there's quite a different little areas. So our top majors are business administration, education, music, and nursing. Those tend to be more of our popular areas. We also have quite a large area for pre-professional programs. So if any of you are thinking about becoming a doctor, veterinarian, seminary, being a lawyer, we can definitely set you up for success for those programs as well. We do also have something for those people who are interested in ROTC. We have a military science leadership program and an ROTC program on our campus, specifically the branch of the Army. We do also have dual degree and cooperative programs. So we have options for engineering. We partner with Clemson. We also partner with Duke University for environmental science and forestry, as well as Presbyterian for pharmacy. And for cooperative programs, those are going to be our bachelor's to master's degree programs. So if you're interested in going to athletic training, human services, or clinical counseling as well, there's a little bit of something here for everybody. For those of you thinking about trying to stay online, we do have a few of those programs as well. So we have criminal justice, psychology, respiratory therapy, and an RN to BSN program. And like I mentioned, these are degree completion programs. So what that means is that you have to complete at least about 45 credit hours for the most part, for the most of them. With the respiratory therapy and the RN to BSN program, you do have to have a licensure and already be practicing in those areas. So already being practicing respiratory therapy, as well as being in the nursing field to complete those programs. They are fully online. They're a little bit more affordable as well, but they're the same quality as a degree that you would get here on campus. For our music lovers, we have quite a large variety of ensembles, large and small, for you to get involved in. The more larger ensembles do also have scholarships if you're interested in participating in any of those programs. Those would be the chamber orchestra, jazz band, marching ensemble, and wind ensemble. And from those, we also have breakout groups for smaller instruments. So if you're looking to just be in a wind ensemble, brass, or a jazz, we even have something for our guitar and string players. So any of you violinists or cellists, we have some of those as well. And for our singers, we also offer madrigals, Newberry College singers, an opera workshop, and new this year is a gospel choir. They actually completely formed themselves and wanting to get more into that aspect of music as well. So there's a little bit of something for our music lovers. You don't also have to be a major in music to participate in these programs. We have quite a large variety of students who are majoring in other things all across campus, but still have that passion for music and want to incorporate that in their experience. So let's talk a little bit about our alumni. We have quite a successful alumni base. Most students within the first 6 months, about 90% of our students are either enrolled in graduate school or have a full-time job. So that is something that we're very proud of for our graduates. These are a few that are fairly recent, some are a little bit older, kind of touching on what they've gone on to do. Emma Lindsay in that first picture is someone who just recently graduated in 2019 with a major in business, and she's actually working for Newberry College as our alumni engagement coordinator. So she loved her experience here, and she's utilizing her major in order to reach out to other students and other alumni to help them support the campus as well. Hannah Rower went through our education program and is now a 4th grade elementary school teacher here in the local area. The couple next is Casey and Brian Sheely. Casey, she actually went through our biology program and did our pre-professional pharmacy program, and it's actually a partnership with Presbyterian. And from that program, she now oversees the whole department at Presbyterian. So she's the professor and chair of the whole department. So she's doing fantastic things over there for the students and faculty that are interested in that field. Brian also majored in business and has his own family business. It's been around for 4 generations, and it's a co-owner of the Economy Furniture Company. And our last couple there, Precious and Albert Garrett, they both also did business administration and analytics, so they're working in their respective fields as well. Campus life is very vibrant on this campus. There is a little something for everybody. So whether you're looking to get involved in a variety of our 50 different clubs and organizations, those range from interest groups such as the fishing team, to honor societies, to nursing association, the Spanish club, you name it, we probably have it. If we don't have it, you can definitely get it started here on campus. Just find an advisor to kind of oversee it, and at least 5 people that are interested in the program as well. We do also offer a study abroad opportunity. So for those of you who are interested in trying to incorporate some international travel in your 4 years, or even 2 years or 3 if you're transferring, that is definitely something doable during our May term semester. We go a little bit of everywhere. We've gone to Germany, France, Haiti, Ireland, England. And those interest groups usually start in the fall, so you guys can get on a list of interest students to kind of find out where everybody's going and what the cost and time commitment might be as well. We do also have a Summerland Honors Program. So for students who are looking for more of a rigorous coursework, you can enroll in that program, have honors housing, take honors classes, which are going to be similar to AP or IB courses if you're in high school and taking any of those, research opportunities, as well as community engagement and alumni networking events as well. For those of you who are interested in playing a sport more for the fun side but more than the competitive collegiate level, we have intramurals. So if you wanted to get a group of friends together to play sand volleyball, badminton, 4x4 basketball, we have quite a variety of those every year as well. And then new this past year was our varsity level esports team. For those of you who don't know what that is competitive online video gaming. It is something that is quite booming right now. And we do also offer a lot of scholarships for that program. So if you are a good gamer and you play things like Madden, Fortnite, Overwatch, Halo, anything of those kind of sorts, you definitely probably want to check out our esports team. Greek life is also something we have available on our campus. About 30% of our campus is Greek. So we have about 9 fraternities and sororities. So we have about 3 of the sororities and 6 fraternities. And we actually have 3 of the big 9 fraternities on our campus. And usually every year in the fall, there's a Meet the Greeks info session. So you can kind of get to know about the brotherhoods, the sisterhoods, their values, and their philanthropies, which are something that is very important for them. There's a lot of giving back in this community. We're kind of a college town. And so we like to give back to everybody and have that great relationship with them. Last year alone, they raised over $70,000 in monetary value and hours dedicated to the community to give back to their philanthropies and the College of Newberry. So that is something that we're very proud of. They're also great leaders on campus. So if you're looking for leadership opportunities, finding lasting friendships, or even getting more involved in the world or just on campus, joining a Greek life sorority or fraternity is definitely an option for you. And if you're an athlete, I would say we do have student athletes that are able to join fraternities and sororities as well. So you can definitely find that great balance between being a student and an athlete here on this campus. That segues right into our athletics. So we do offer 20 different NCAA Division II athletics teams and 2 spirit squads. So here you can see the breakdown of the men's sports and the women's sports, as well as our dance and cheerleading team. If you are interested in playing at the collegiate level, the best way to get in contact with our coaches is on our athletics page. When you go to our Newberry webpage, just click on athletics, takes you to that page, find your respective sport, click on it. We have all the information you need right there. We have all the coaches' contact information, email and phone, as well as a recruit form you can fill out so that way you can begin that conversation with them. It enables you to put all your personal information as well as your athletic stats on there to start beginning that conversation at playing at the collegiate level. And since we are a Division II level, we do offer athletic scholarships, and that can be combined with any other aid you receive from Newberry, whether it's academic, state, federal, or institutional. Now, the very important part is the food. I will say the campus dining options are quite a large variety and also very delicious. So our main option is the Kaufman Dining Hall, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet. Simply swipe in and choose from the variety of stations we have, from Mama's Home Cooking with chicken, fish, collard greens, mac and cheese, to your grill with hot dogs, hamburgers, and quesadillas. You got your pizza and substation, as well as your international station for things like stir fry and lo mein as well. Always have a salad bar, cereal, desserts, you name it, eat and enjoy as much of it as possible. We do also have flex dollars as part of the meal plan, so you can eat at Chick-fil-A and Boar's Head. And then we also have a stop and go Wolf's Den shop in our science building. So if you needed something just quick and grab and go, chips, sandwich, candy, a drink, anything like that in between classes is available as part of the meal plan as well. So for first year residence life, if you're going to be living on campus, there are 2 different dorms that our students typically live in. The first being Brokaw Hall. So that is our primary freshman dorm. We have about 300 students that live in that dorm, and it is a co-ed residential hall. Women are on one wing and men are on the other. Every floor has an RA to help engage students, have activities, as well as answer any questions you may have about your first year living on campus. We do also have a community space for students to interact with on that first floor. So whether you're hanging out and playing games or watching TV, it's nice to kind of get out of your room and mingle with everybody. There's also free laundry on every floor of the residence halls. So it's on that first main floor of the lower level and every single residence hall. So no need to worry about bringing those silly little rolls of quarters. Just bring your soap and dryer sheets and you're going to be all set. The other about 150 students live in Cromer Hall. So that is also a standard 2-person room with communal showers and bathrooms. And a lot of our athletes tend to live in Cromer as well. Structured very the same as Brokaw. For our upperclassmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, you have a little bit more variety. So you still have your standard 2-person dorm. We do also offer all female and all male residence halls, as well as on-campus apartments and suite styles, and some off-campus apartments that are still part of on-campus housing. So that enables you to have more of 4 to 8 people in a giant suite, having your own communal area, your personal bathrooms, own bedroom, and a little kitchenette area as well. So it's a little bit more of adult style living that you can still be a part of on campus as well. Now we're going to segue into the admissions requirements. I'm going to turn it over to Director Melina Velez so she can kind of talk about how you can get started enrolling with us.
Thank you so much, Clarissa. So now that you've heard all about our campus life and student life, you're probably thinking to yourself, what are my next steps? We know that this presentation is primarily for transfer students, but I also know that through some of our technical colleges and community colleges in the state and outside of the state, sometimes we reach first-time freshman applicants as well, which is why I'm going to start with the freshman application requirements, and then we'll go into the transfer and the online degree completion ones as well. So if you are a first-time freshman student, that means that even if you've taken college classes, you've taken them for high school credit as opposed to college credit, then you fall in that category. The application process is very simple for everyone. You can fill out the free application, and you can do that in 2 different ways. Either go to our website, www.newberry.edu, click on Apply Now, and then complete the application process from there, or you can submit the common application. So if you're already applying to a number of different schools and all of them accept the common application, don't hesitate, just send it out to us as well. It's much easier for you to fill out one application form and send it out to everyone. However, if you're only looking at Newberry or maybe Newberry in 1 or 2 other schools, in that case, it might be easier for you to fill out the institutional application, which is usually shorter and much faster to complete than the common application. So we do need your application form for sure, and it's free. There's no additional charge for it, even with the common application. Then we're going to need your official transcripts. For first-time freshmen, that's your high school transcript. If you have taken some classes, we need the final high school transcript if you've already graduated. On average, our students come in with about a 3.0 GPA. However, we're looking for a minimum of 2.5 for admission purposes. We also need your test scores, ACT or SAT. It doesn't matter to us. Whichever one you've taken and whichever one you're more comfortable with, that's the test score that we need. Now, the test score requirement is only for first-time freshmen. We also acknowledge that over the past year, testing has been a little bit difficult because testing centers have been closed and test dates have been canceled due to the COVID pandemic, which is why if you're unable to provide a test score, we are happy to consider your application as a test optional application. That means you don't have to submit a test score, but instead of a test score, you need to submit a personal statement, which is normally optional for other applicants. We also are happy to consider letters of recommendations. We don't require them. They are sometimes requested on case-by-case basis for specific candidates, but overall, we don't require a letter of recommendation. However, if you've been working with someone, whether that's a professor or a teacher or a coach or somebody outside of your direct academic field, and they would really like to submit a recommendation for you. For instance, sometimes we have Newberry alums who are very excited and passionate about our prospective students, and they would like to recommend someone to us. We are more than happy to consider that. So feel free to give it a chance and then send it over to us for review, no problem. Now, if you're a transfer student, the application process looks very similar. It starts with the application form for sure. Again, Common App or institutional form works either way. And then we are going to need all of your college transcripts. Now, we need your official college transcripts, which means that they need to be sent directly to Newberry from the registrar's office at each individual institution. If you are a transfer student who's attended more than one previous institution, we do need the official transcripts from all previously attended institutions, not just the credits. So for example, if you're currently at a school and you transfer there from another institution, all of your credits will be on the transcripts from your current school. However, we would not be able to grant transfer credit until we've received the official transcript from each individual institution. I hope that makes sense. If not, let me know. I can explain a little bit further. For college transfers or for transfer students, we are looking for a minimum of 2.0 or higher overall GPA, and that's cumulative over all institutions that you have attended. However, most of our students start with an average of 2.5 to 2.75. So we do have students who are transferring in with slightly higher GPA, which is great. Also, if you have been enrolled in college classes as degree-seeking student, but you have not accumulated more than 24 or more credit hours, then we would need to review your application as a first-time freshman, in which case we will need test scores or we will need that personal essay in addition to your transcripts. And the reason for that is because we want to give you the best chance. And if you only have 12 credit hours in a college right now, and maybe you didn't do so well that first year, then we would like to give you the full credit and review your transfer high school transcripts so that we can really see what your academic capabilities are. Now, in terms of actually, I would throw a little bit of information about our online degree completion programs as well, since Clarissa talked about them earlier. The application process for those programs is very similar to the transfer process with a couple of slight differences. So we do have 4 degree completion programs. We have psychology and criminal justice, which are your true degree completion programs, meaning that you don't have to have a 2-year degree in order to enter them. You just have to have a minimum of 45 transferable credit hours and you can apply to those programs. So we will need the application form as well as all of your official college transcripts from previously attended institutions. In addition to that, however, we do have 2 degree completion programs that do require you to have previous degree. Those are our Bachelor of Science in Respiratory Therapy or BSRT program and our RN to BSN program. For the BSRT program, you do need to hold a 2-year degree in respiratory therapy assistance. And for the RN to BSN transition program or bridge program, you do need to have your RN degree in order to apply. So those 2 programs, in addition to the application form and official transcripts, we also do need to see those degrees and licensure in the respective fields. Now, that's the application process. The application process is a little bit different from the financial aid process. So we're going to talk a little bit about financial aid and how that works out for transfer students and in general. So in order to apply for financial aid, if you're not familiar with the process, the financial aid application, or it's called the FAFSA, it's a free application for federal student aid. And it's a federal form that opens on October 1st for fall 2021. So on October 1st of 2020, it opens for fall of 2021. If you're a transfer student looking to come into us mid-year, so you're looking to start in January or February with the spring term of 2021, you don't need to wait. Your FAFSA is already open and you will file under the 1920 or the 2021 FAFSA as opposed to the 21-22 FAFSA. So it's a different cycle. So make sure to file the right FAFSA since they're both open at this point. The FAFSA form is 100% free to complete. So if by any chance you end up on a website that's trying to charge you a fee to complete the FAFSA, you're on website. So please exit out of there as quickly as humanly possible and then give one of us a call. But the website is very simple. It's just fafsa.ed.gov. Once you go to that website, you will need a PIN number. If you are underage or you're not considered an independent student, one of your parents will need a PIN number as well, and that PIN number serves as your electronic signature. Once you've acquired a PIN number, you'll be able to fill out the form, and once your form is complete, you can send it out to all institutions to which you're applying to for financial aid. In order to send the form to specific institutions, you do need that institutional code. The Newberry code is listed right here. It's 003440. Again, if you want to write that down, it's totally fine, but if you lose it, we will happily provide it for you again. It's also on our website. The FAFSA is completed with information from your tax returns, and for the 21-22 academic year, the FAFSA uses the 2019 taxes. Accordingly, for the 2021 academic year, the FAFSA uses 2018 taxes. So it's what we call prior year. It's the year twice prior to the one for which you're looking to start your studies. Like I said, both the student and one parent need to complete it unless you're considered an independent student because you're over the age of 25, you are a member of our military service, or you have been designated as independent student for any other reason. If you feel that you should be an independent student, but you're currently not, please notify us and our financial aid office can review that information for you. Please, for both the financial aid application and actually for your admissions application, you'll be asked to use an email address. So consider using your personal email address, such as a Gmail or Yahoo or AOL account, as opposed to your school email address, whether that's your college or high school email address. The reason for that is that potentially sometimes before your application process is completed, you may no longer have access to that school email address because you graduated or you transferred out and you're done with that school and you no longer have access to it. That becomes a little bit of an issue. So do consider using a personal email address. Now, what happens when you fill out the FAFSA? First of all, you'll be considered for all federal and state aid, which is need-based aid. So federal funds include the Pell Grant, which is for students with minimal EFC 0 to about 5,500 EFC. You'll be considered for the Federal Supplementary Education Opportunity Grant or the FSEOG grant, and you'll be considered for federal work study. In the state of South Carolina, we have some additional tuition grants and state scholarships that are available to students as well, such as the Hope Scholarship, Life Scholarship, Palmetto Fellows for our highest achieving students, and then some additional specific to South Carolina scholarships, such as the South Carolina Tuition Grant and some STEM scholarships as well. You don't need to know what you're eligible for. You don't need to worry about that because our Office of Financial Aid will do all of that for you. They'll review your application for admission. We award your academic scholarship based on your academic achievements, such as test scores, GPA, and anything else. We're also a Division II school, like Clarissa mentioned earlier, which means that there's an opportunity for athletic aid as well. Both the academic and athletic aid will be put on your account, on your financial aid offer before any additional need-based scholarship comes in. So the need-based awards will be put on top of that. Once everything is compiled, you will receive a letter of the financial aid offer from our financial aid office, and you will be able to review that and ask us any questions that you may have at that point. In addition to the federal and state funds and scholarships and grants, we also have a wide variety of institutional funds that we award based on case by case. So for each student, we could award an academic grant or an investment grant. We have a wide variety of scholarships, like I mentioned, such as transfer scholarship, athletic scholarship, music scholarship for those of you musically inclined. If you want to play in a band, there's a scholarship for that. There's a separate one for marching band, and the ROTC program as well provides students with some scholarship opportunities as well. So just let us know what you're interested in, and we'll put together the best offer possible to make Newberry truly accessible and affordable for you and your family. That's pretty much it from me about financial aid. And now I would like to take it, turn it back around on you all and see what kind of questions you have at this point for us that any one of us can answer for you. Here's the promised contact information as well. I don't see any questions in the chat, so maybe we can get us started a little bit. I'll put kind of like a quick question out to our counselors, and this is a question that we often hear from transfer students, but also from first-time students. When should I start my application? When is the best time to start if I am an incoming student for both spring and fall? So what would you recommend that I do?
That's a fantastic question. So how I usually typically answer that question is just go ahead and do it. By filling out an application, you're not officially committed or binded into agreement of any sorts, but it lets us be able to share more information with you, especially invite you to campus and start engaging with you, sending in your materials, your transcripts, test scores, letters of recommendation, whatever it might be to help boost your application for a better chance to get accepted. So just go ahead and go onto our website and complete it, or like the Common App, like Milena said, we accept either option. So that way we can start engaging with you, sending you more materials about Newberry and making sure that this is the great fit for you. And especially with your program of interest, we can get you to meet with a professor, meet with the music department, or even if you're an athlete, maybe we can get you to engage with some of our coaches and maybe have a practice with them to see if this is where you want to be for your next 2, 3, maybe even 4 years if you've only taken a semester at another college as a transfer student.
Another thing that I will add on top of that is that students who apply to Newberry do not necessarily have to have everything together as far as transcripts and any letters of recommendation when you fill out the application. So if that is holding you back, if you're waiting for a teacher to fill out a letter of recommendation, or if you know that your school hasn't sent over transcripts yet, don't worry, you can go ahead and submit that application, and then you're already in our system and we can start chatting with you and communicating with you and hopefully getting you on campus to visit. And then you have plenty of time later down the road to complete the application process and complete turning in all the necessary materials.
Thank you both so much. I'm going to throw in there as well some additional information about what happens after your application and financial aid process is complete, because I know for a lot of transfer students, that's a really big question. I've done everything. Now, what do I do next, and when do I get registered for classes? Our class registration takes place during our Wolfpack Welcome events, which happen once before our spring semester starts, and we have 5 Wolfpack Welcome events before the fall semester starts. If you are an online degree completion student, on the other hand, you don't have to attend the Wolfpack Welcome event because they're usually on campus or virtual or hybrid, but you work directly with your program coordinator or academic advisor within the program to get registered for classes. So you should have received that communication if you're accepted for online degree completion, and then you can reach out to your program director directly. Transfer students, we work with you in order to first figure out what classes you are bringing in before you sit down with an academic advisor, so that we can ensure that we're putting you in the right classes to continue your education and get to your degree as quickly as possible without having to worry about retaking classes that you've already taken and you've gotten credit for. So that was just kind of like an addition. I know for transfer students, that's usually a pretty good question, like where do I go to from here? Anna and Clarissa, any other questions that we usually hear from students, both transfer and first-time freshmen, that would be good for everyone?
Yeah, so a question that I typically get asked is about the transfer credits. What's going to transfer in for me, especially in relation to a specific major? How long am I going to have to be at Newberry to complete my degree? And so it all kind of depends on how many credits you have taken. If you've taken like the general coursework, what we call general education, so your English, math, history, a science class maybe, those typically transfer to about any institution as long as you got at least a C or higher. And then if it comes to a specific major, we can definitely get our registrar's office or the program director of that specific program, take a look at your transfer credits and see how that fits into a 4-year curriculum and gives you an idea of how long you're going to be here still. That's definitely something always important I hear from transfer students is obviously time and cost. So we definitely want to give you as much information as possible ahead of time so you can still make sure this is a good fit. So definitely still go ahead and send if you're still in school, you can send us an unofficial and we can give you an unofficial evaluation since it's often unofficial transcript, but we can't officially give and guarantee everything until we've received that official transcript from your institution to transfer those classes in.
And I'll just add,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like we kind of mentioned earlier, the sooner that you can get started on the process, the better. So as soon as you can kind of start sending us over some information about the unofficial transcript, some classes that you've taken, and ask questions as well with students. It's good for them to ask questions if they're to see if there's any suggestions about classes that they can take if they have a couple semesters before they transfer, or ways that they can improve their chances of finishing in a shorter period of time or whatever your goals are. So definitely get started and don't be afraid to ask those questions.
That's more or less what I was going to say, but not on the front end. Towards the back end, after you have received your transcript evaluation and something doesn't look right, feel free to reach back out to us and ask us about that, because sometimes the evaluations are done officially by our registrar's office, but they might not be familiar with a specific course that you didn't get credit for. It sometimes happens that we didn't get credit for it because it's still in progress. So definitely send us those updated transcripts once your semester is completed. We'll do a new evaluation. So don't worry about it if what you expected to see on your transcript evaluation is not there just yet. We'll continue to working with you. Our registrar's office and the program director and your advisor will continue to look at that and give you the most credit that you can bring in so that it is, again, as close to graduation for you as possible so that we can get you to your degree in the time required. Any other questions? I know we had a couple of people who joined a little bit later, so we're happy to answer any questions for you. Just let us know, and we are also happy to kind of go over some additional information from earlier on if there's something specifically that you're interested in. We have about 5 more minutes before we need to wrap up the session. For anyone who joined us a little bit later too, you are welcome to use the Q&A button at the bottom, and you can ask question to all the panelists from there, and we're happy to answer it.
So it looks like we had a great question come in. The question is, can the Bachelor in Science and Respiratory program be started in January? The answer is yes. So you can start our programs at fall or spring semester. We do offer a few classes in summer, so it just kind of depends on what you might need to take for that program, but it's better to probably start in the fall or spring. You can do your application at any time. If you're thinking about starting this upcoming January, definitely do it today. It's never too late to get started, and then we can start working with you to get your transcripts in and get you started for those online respiratory care classes.
What Clarissa said is absolutely correct. Our online degree completion programs have 3 start dates, so they can be started in fall, spring, or summer without a problem. And your schedule, your advisor will work with you to create a schedule that is very flexible to your current needs. We are very well aware of that for our online degree completion program. Most of the students are working adults, so they work with that. For online degree completion, also the classes are year-round. round. So you go full year, so you go fall, spring, and summer, and each of those terms actually has 2 blocks within it. In each block you take each block is 7.5 weeks, and you take classes. So you could take 2 classes per block, 4 classes per term, and graduate sometimes within a year and a half with your 4-year degree. So the programs are very much geared towards a working professional and an adult learner, and they're very flexible in format that they're presented in. So if you have any more specific questions about that, definitely shoot me a quick email. My email is right there on the screen. I work with our online students. That's a good question.
Just a general thing I'd like to add is that our campus is currently open to visitors. So if you're not sure or want to learn more, definitely go onto our webpage at newberry.edu and click visit campus to schedule time to come see us. We're definitely welcome to sit with you one-on-one, give you a campus tour, have an admissions counselor meeting, or even a financial aid meeting. And if you would like to request additional meetings with anybody, that's an available option in the Dropbox as well. We are available for virtual meetings as well outside of this. So if you go to Newberry's website, click on admissions, scroll just a little bit ways down, we have links to you can meet with any one of our admissions staff to get more questions answered as well virtually.
So it looks like we got another question. Where can I find grants or scholarships to apply for before class starts in January? So as soon as your application is complete, you're considered for any internal scholarships and grants. And then in order to be eligible for any need-based or federal and state grants in aid, you need to complete the free application for federal student aid or the FAFSA. To complete the FAFSA, you go to the FAFSA website, which is fafsa.ed.gov, and start the application process from there. Once you have submitted the FAFSA, make sure to submit it to Newberry as well. Our institutional code for the FAFSA is 003440. Once our financial aid receives your FAFSA, they review it and they put together a financial aid packet that includes all of your federal and state eligible aid, as well as any institutional aid as well. And that's sent to you as an applicant. However, you do need to be accepted before you see your full package and everything that you're eligible for. So again, like Clarissa and Anna mentioned earlier, we highly encourage you to start the application process as soon as possible so that you can review your FAFSA as soon as you're accepted. We do those things pretty quickly. That was a really good question too. Any other last minute questions? We have about a couple of minutes before we have to wrap up the session. Again, the session is available. The recording of this can be sent out to you. So for some of you who joined us a little bit later, we're happy to send you the recording so you can go through the entire session at your own time. But we do greatly appreciate you joining us today and asking great questions and taking the time to learn a little bit more about Newberry College. Any one of us is happy to talk to you about how to proceed from here. And if you're interested in coming for spring or next fall, our applications are open right now. So it's definitely a good time to close this window and then go to newberry.edu, check out the application and fill it out because it's very quick and easy. Any last minute questions? All right, I think I can say again then thank you so much for attending, and we'll give the microphone back to our moderator.
Thank you all so much. Really quickly before we end today's session, little things before you leave. Just remember the sessions again will be posted in about a week. So you will have access to that and you can sign up for more sessions at www.cacrao.org. And lastly, once I end this session, you will see a small, quick 4-question survey that will pop up. Please take some time. We would love to hear your feedback to make sure we can keep improving this to make sure it's beneficial for everyone. Besides that, you all have a great day and enjoy yourself.